How
That's
did
just
you
three.
prepare
One
yourself, though? What did you do personally to be prepared for those opportunities?
there's three things involved. One is knowing what your passions are. That's really your job right now, because then it helps you make the jump one way or the other when opportunities come along. Does this fulfill my passion? Is this
Hmm.
going to be joyful? Is this going to be following my? No, this is a good opportunity. That so that way you don't have to ponder as much. Is this the right
Yeah.
thing to? That's the first thing.
You're
There's
kind
three
of
things. The
choppy.
second thing is, oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
That's the neighbors. What can I do?
Yeah.
The second
Hmm.
thing is
Yeah, that's bad
to
Wi-Fi. Put it up. Maybe try it without the video. Just
okay.
that
Let me
might make
stop
it
the
better.
video
Yeah.
and see if it gets
It's
better.
fine. We
Okay.
don't. It's the same image. He's
And
just
also
moving
we
his
can
mouth
call you
in
back.
different. I don't want to. I mean, that's not.
I got to figure out how to turn it off. Hold
Yeah.
on.
Well, you push the video button.
Uh,
Skype expert.
I know,
Sorry.
but I can't find my mouse. My mouse is. It's so bright out here. Oh, there it is. Okay. No more video. Okay. That's it on the video.
Yeah.
So,
But so.
and
But
then
so tell us
let me
more about it
finish. Let me finish.
personally.
No, but let me finish. So
Okay.
three things. One is know what your passion is so you know what to do.
Yeah.
Two is prepare for opportunities to knock. Be ready. And three is have the nerve to jump. I grasp opportunities when they come
Yeah.
along very quickly.
Even if
And
they're risky, maybe. Would you
if you're
say?
willing to take that risk,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
That's all.
But now tell us more about it personally, though. What did you do when you were preparing for these opportunities in radio specifically? What did you do to prepare that?
Well, I was at Yale and I was studying Chinese.
Yeah.
And
So you,
neither of which were particularly valuable.
yeah.
And then what I did do that was valuable was I went to the campus radio station because I thought that might be kind of fun. I tried it, and then once I tried it, I said, "Hey, I really like this."
Hmm.
And so that was a big deal. That was something that really was an important thing, was that discovering it. And then I just did a lot of it. Malcolm Gladwell says in his book Outliers, it takes 10,000 hours of doing something to become an expert at it. So the
Well,
next thing to do is just keep doing it.
yeah. And I read that book too, and it's really interesting that he would say that because he was saying that that's the only real thing you need is those 10,000
Yes.
hours of practice, which it sounds like you got. How did you get those hours in a career that's on air? I mean, how would they let you do something that you weren't necessarily? Who let you do
Well,
that
do the
stuff?
math. You talk yourself and you talk into your way into your first
Yeah.
radio job. And then you might even have to talk your way into your second radio job because you're not very good at first at anything. And then you just keep doing it. And you do 4 hours a day, 5 days a week for for 50 weeks a year. That's 1,000 hours a year for
Yeah.
10 years. And I wasn't any good at radio for the first 10 years, but
Would
it
you
took
say
me
so?
about 10 years. Yeah, for a long time, I used to say I was a late bloomer. It took me 10 years before I was any good. Because I had in my
Hmm.
mind, you're supposed to be, they used to say 3 to 5 years experience is enough. So I thought, that's all you need to be any good in radio. Turns out radio is just like everything else. It takes 10 years, 10,000 hours. So it's funny because I knew that it took me 10 years to become good. I only knew the story behind it later.
Yeah.
So you just keep doing it, and you have to keep looking for those opportunities. It's a little tough in radio because you have to convince somebody to let you on the air. At least it used to be. It's changed now. You're
How
getting
did
a
you
chance
convince people to
practice
let you on the air, though?
That's less important because now you have podcasts, you have netcasts, kids are making videos for YouTube. Look what's happening. You don't have to talk anybody into
It's
it
kind
anymore.
of muffled,
You
Dad.
do it yourself. Oh, I'm talking too closely, probably.
Yeah, what are you?
I got excited. How's that sound? Is
He's
that better?
messing with the microphones.
No, I'm not. Sound better now?
A little bit, yeah.
It's the Skype thing.
Talk louder, though.
Okay, I'll
But
talk louder.
So how did you convince people to let you on the air, though? What did you say when you talked your way into it?
Well, I worked in college radio, and then I got out into the real world, and I picked the worst station I could find because I thought that's the place I probably could get a job at.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
put the worst station I could find, which was this little tiny station in Monterey. It was in an old cat house, and it was
An
like,
old what?
do you know what a cat house is?
No.
A brothel.
Oh, that's
It wasn't
lovely.
it wasn't a brothel anymore, but it was,
Well, I
you know,
hope not. Gosh.
oh, it was a radio station, and but it was dumpy, and it was a tiny little 1,000-watt station, and I thought, this is the smallest station in the Bay Area. I can get a job at this, and you know what? I had to keep going back to them, keep talking to them, keep knocking on the door, keep bringing them tapes.
Oh,
Finally,
wow.
on this, I mean, this is a crappy little station.
But
Finally, well,
you
listen, finally,
persisted, though.
I persisted. Finally, the guy who runs the station took me out to lunch. He said, well, kid, you're a diamond in the rough, but we're going to give you a chance. And you know what? After all that, you know what the job he gave me was?
What?
I was on midnight to 8 in the morning on Sunday morning. I
Wow.
got 1 hour on the air, and I got 7 hours of running religious tapes, church services.
Oh, that's
It was
like,
the worst job. And you know how much I made? I
how
made
much?
$3 or $4 an hour. It was
That's like,
a terrible
what was the
job.
minimum wage then?
It was less than that, but it wasn't much less than that.
Yeah.
So,
So
I mean,
but
my
you
first
literally, you physically went back after they told you no to the station?
I think that probably they never told me no. You know, this is a fine line. You don't want to annoy people,
Yeah.
but you also don't want to give up.
But
So
they didn't say no, but you'd bring back.
I brought them more tapes. I think the first
Okay.
time they said, no, you're no good. And I said, can I give you another tape? And they said, okay. So I took a unpaid gig at the local non-commercial radio station in Santa Cruz. And
Yeah.
I did shows to make another tape. And I brought them another tape.
What
They
were the
said,
tapes
"Oh."
of? Just you talking?
They called them air checks. Yeah, they're tapes of you doing your show, minus the music, just you talking.
What were you saying for stuff like that? What would you
I
say?
was saying it's 55 degrees in the city, WYBC in New Haven. I'm Leo Laporte, and now here you go, new riders of the Purple Sage. We're riding off into the sunset on a Saturday afternoon.
Wow. Was that your voice that you used?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh my
I-
gosh.
I don't know if I have tapes anymore, but I listened back a few years.
Dad, what is that noise? There was like a. Are you like?
That noise?
Yeah, that noise.
Oh.
Are you kicking something or?
No, I have. The laptop's on it. I went inside because now that you're not getting a picture, I just went inside.
Yeah.
And the tables. Does it sound better now?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't move.
Oh wow. Were you doing the cheesy radio voice too? You were actually doing like, "Hi, here you," like the whole.
Yeah, I thought that's how you had to do it. As I said, I wasn't very good for the first 10 years. I thought you kind of had to sound like that. So I did. I sounded like that a little bit.
Oh no, that's awful.
Yeah. In retrospect, when I hear the tapes now, it really was bad.
You should play some. I would like to hear some of those tapes.
I don't think I have them anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't keep them. that
think
doesn't
that-
sound like. But like you were
It's
saying,
embarrassing.
another time you were telling me a story about how at the radio conventions, all the people
They all
were
talk like this.
there talking as low as they could talk,
Yeah.
competing with each other.
They all talk like this. They say, "Hey,
Yeah.
it's Bob Cummins from WTBC. How
Nice
are
to
you?"
meet you. Yeah. Yeah.
They're all trying to outlow each other, so they get lower and lower as the day goes by. Pretty soon,
What
they're
about
all,
pretty
like
soon
this.
it's unintelligible. Yeah.
you know, pretty soon you can't understand a word they're saying.
And what about girl radio announcers? What would they
Girl
do?
radio?
Higher and higher?
Sound like Dusty Rhodes. That was her name, Dusty Rhodes. Hey, they all were trying to sound breathy and sexy. It's
Oh,
late
God.
night, and we're playing the big hits here.
That's
Here comes Big Papa.
awful.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, wow. So,
But you get better. You know what you learn, and it took me a long time to learn, and a lot of things happened in my life that helped me. But eventually, studying acting, ironically, is one of the things that helped me. But eventually, you learn that the best thing to do is to sound like to be normal. To
yeah,
sound like a person.
that's what you'd think. That's kind of the intuitive
Yeah.
thing to do.
It was a different time, but it's not as easy as it sounds because you want to present, you want to come
Yeah.
on, and
Well, and you
And-
still
but-
do when you're doing like a show open. You still do a voice that's
Yeah, I
not
do an
exact.
announcer
I mean, it's more.
yeah, I do an announcer voice, which is
Yeah.
not so good. Yeah,
But you know, my Aunt Eva, who is Leo's sister, is in town, and she was talking about how you were born with a voice that's you're lucky to have because other than if you didn't have that, you probably couldn't have.
Well,